What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is the nightly morning show. This time it is March 28th, 2022, and the Oscars were last night. We get Nerdy Nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
That is right. Welcome back to the channel. We got some stuff to talk about.
We sure do.
It's a weird night.
It's I don't know what you're talking about.
But we start this show every week with the same question, which is, how you doing, Clarus?
Good.
Yeah.
I did not expect to don't know what happened last night. Yeah.
In so many ways.
There's
not just the Will Smith situation, but like there's a lot about last night's Oscars that we need to get into.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but
love that
before we do that, I want to say a huge good morning to all of the live viewers in our chat. Thank you so much for being here, and to our mods who keep us safe because y'all are the real MVPs. I also want to send a huge thank you and a huge shout out to our sponsor of today, which is HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a meal delivery service. Is meal service delivery?
Meal delivery service.
A meal kit delivery service. They're gonna love this.
Sure.
A meal kit delivery service which brings the freshest of fresh ingredients to your door on a weekly basis if you want, on a bi-weekly basis. It really, the thing about HelloFresh that rocks is that it's up to you.
Yeah,
you can decide what food you want and when.
Yeah, so if you use our code, you get 16 free meals, which is kind of wild. And they'll also throw in 3 surprise gifts for you.
Gifts.
This is US only, unfortunately.
Yes.
The United States. However, it's I don't. There's no however. It's pretty cool. Sign up if you want. It helps us out a lot. So
sign up if you want. You know what?
If you like food, sign up.
You're a saleswoman.
If you eat food, this is for you.
It's true. HelloFresh is really just an excellent way to cut down on the waste in regards to what you eat. Because they do all pre-portioned ingredients, you are getting the exact amount that you need to make your food. There's no excess.
Yeah.
There's no drippings. There's no, cutting the ends off the asparagus. There might be, actually. We haven't had asparagus from HelloFresh yet, as I say that. But HelloFresh has been awesome. We've been eating a lot of HelloFresh, and we just got a box this morning. So we might be doing a cooking stream, and we also might be eating real good this week.
I think we're eating real good this week.
Yeah, so click on the link in the chat if you are in the United States. If you are elsewhere, sorry about it. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
But with the sponsorships out of the way, let's get into the show.
The show.
There's a show? Wait, are we doing a show?
We're doing a show.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we're talking about. The Oscars happened.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the news. The Oscars happened.
Yeah, the Oscars happened. And should we talk about Will Smith first, or should we talk about the winners first?
Let's talk about the winners first.
Well, no one else is, so we're going to talk about who won awards last night. The big winner of the night, the best picture, the one that we all want to talk about, of course, is Coda, the Apple TV movie. Or Apple Plus, I guess. It's not Apple TV. The Apple Plus movie is the first streaming service movie to ever win an Academy Award for Best Picture. Everyone kind of thought Netflix was going to do it. Netflix had some contenders in the past. But this is the first film coming from a streaming service to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards. We haven't seen it yet, but we have Apple TV Plus, so we should absolutely watch it.
Yeah, we have it for free. Like, we got, 6 months free, so we really should...
We got a free year.
Oh, was it a full year?
Yeah. We bought a laptop, and they were like, "You get a free year of Apple."
Yeah, so we should get on that so we know what the hype is about.
Yeah. But in other winners include Dune winning almost every technical category, which is unsurprising considering the look and sound of that film. I don't think anyone who saw Dune is surprised that it won looks and sounds.
Yeah.
It is a very good looking and very amazing sounding movie. And Jessica Chastain won Best Actress for her role in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Ariana DeBose, a Broadway girl. Ariana DeBose, I as a New York musical theater boy, I was very, very happy to see her win Best Supporting Actress. Just like the original Anita did, I think it was 60 years ago.
Yeah.
And best supporting actor went to, oh my god, I can't remember off the top of my head.
What?
It's almost like something happened at the Oscars that foreshadowed all of my remembering things that happened at the Oscars.
I don't think anything happened at the Oscars.
Will Smith won Best Actor about 40 minutes after he slapped Chris Rock in the face on live television in front of like 12 million people.
Yeah. Yeah. That,
He won.
He won. Yeah. Yeah, he won.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
bet everybody there at the Academy was clenching because they're like, he can't win right now.
Please.
He can't win.
Everyone in the Academy was sitting there going, for God's sake, let Benedict Cumberbatch win this award.
Yeah.
Like no, I think like Benedict Cumberbatch was kind of the number 2 for Power of the Dog. I don't think anyone really expected Andrew Garfield to win. I think I would have loved him to, just because I love him. And he had such an incredible year. Like, if you were to give out Best Year award, Andrew Garfield had The Eyes of Tammy Faye, with Jessica Chastain won Best Actress for. He was in Spider-Man No Way Home. Sorry, spoilers. I'm assuming you've seen it by now. The movie's made almost $2 billion. And he was also the lead in Tick, Tick, Boom and went on this kind of run through the award season with Tick, Tick, Boom, which is kind of, just a banger year.
Yeah.
Like 3 highly critically regarded movies that all did financially well, that all he was like a big, like, well-reviewed part of. Andrew Garfield's 2021 was exemplary.
Yeah.
But Will Smith won. And I think no matter what you think of the slap, and there are takes on the internet, y'all. There are some takes.
Some takes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that it's weird that they let him give an acceptance speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if you're in the boat that, like, it was just an open-handed slap, it's not a big deal. Even if that is, like, the take that you have.
Yeah.
I think even in that case, it is weird that the Academy did nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that nothing happened after that point. And that, like, he was allowed to sit front center. Literally, like, you could not walk on stage without walking past him the rest of the night. And so not only did he make that moment this thing, appropriately or not, depending on your point of view, but he was then the focal point of the entire rest of the ceremony because the placement of his chair put him so in the path of everything that had to happen from that point on.
Yeah.
And so whether or not he had won that night, the rest of the night, the guy who, if someone else had won that award, the guy who won it would have had to have walked right past him. You know what I mean? And so it just becomes kind of a really interesting dilemma for the show that could have just been solved if they had just removed him after he hit somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, I'm firmly in the camp of the police do not need to be involved. There's no reason for him to be, like, arrested for it.
Yeah.
It's an open-handed slap.
Yeah.
But Chris Rock had it coming a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just saying that I don't even think Chris Rock is sitting around going, I didn't deserve that at all.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. He's like, yeah, okay, that was, I saw that coming.
I'm firmly in the camp that, like, the police did not need to be involved.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that Will Smith should have been allowed to give an acceptance speech 40 minutes later talking about how much he is a barrel of love and he protects people and love makes you do crazy things. Like, that was a weird look.
It was, yeah.
We all just watch you hit Chris Rock.
Super cringe. Yeah. I meant to watch all of the speech this morning and I forgot, but I did watch, like, a chunk of it last night and I was like, dude, it just came off as, like, a little unhinged in a way. Like, I was like, you're not being coherent right now, and I realize you got a lot going on, but it was awkward. It was uncomfy, and I think that whether or not Chris Rock deserved it, that's, everyone has their own opinions on that. Honestly, according to Twitter, and this is Twitter, he has he's been pretty shitty towards them several times before, and Jada is dealing with a disease. She is sick. It's probably something she is very self-conscious of. As a woman, I know if I started losing my hair, it would be awful. And here's the thing. I think that, like, if she had had cancer or something like that and he had made that joke, people would have lost their shit about it. But they're like, oh, well, it's this disease. I don't know what that is. But it's a funny joke, right? You know, she... it was very, like... It was a very, like, vulnerable, like, thing for her to do, to just shave it off and be like, you know, this is who I am, and I'm just going to embrace it. And then to have it, like, belittled at an award show, I'm like, look, whether or not you think he deserved it, whatever. But yeah, I don't think Will Smith handled it very well, and I'm surprised he was allowed to stay. You know what I mean? I feel like after that moment, it would have been commercial break, buddy, you gotta leave. But he's Will Smith, and so if you're rich, you can do whatever you want.
Well, and that kind of becomes the problem for me, right? Is that there's this, like, sentiment that Hollywood elites are out of touch and that they kind of, like, do whatever they want from their castle out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And this feels so much like that, right? Like, you literally had this actor who hit somebody at a show in front of millions of people, and the response generally was, hey, Will, you okay? You want to sit down and we'll just, like... The show must go on.
Yeah.
And this is one of those moments where, like, the show didn't have to go on with him there. And it felt weird that she was able to be... It felt so odd to be able to watch 1,000+ people in a room not know what to do with a situation.
Yeah.
Like, could they have kicked Will Smith out? I don't really know.
I don't know. Like, if they had asked him to leave, maybe they did ask him to leave on the commercial break, and he was like, nah. Like, who knows, well, right?
And do they make it a bigger situation by kicking him out?
Yeah.
Like, you know, is there that conversation in the back room where the producer's sitting around going, if we have footage of security escorting Will Smith out of the Oscars, does that make this into a bigger deal than it currently is?
Yes.
And was it almost like a trying to save face by allowing it to happen the way that it did?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were trying to just, like, hope everybody was not thinking about it, even though that's impossible. Here's the thing. If they had kicked him out, people would have talked about it more, and so it's like, nobody can win in this situation, right? It doesn't... Yeah. It doesn't matter, right? What's been done is done at this point.
Frank Bean says they probably didn't want the Smiths to sick Scientology on them. Are the Smiths Scientologists?
Wait, what?
I've never heard that before.
I know a couple celebrities, like I know...
You know what I found really interesting about this whole situation?
What?
I didn't know what assault was.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so apparently assault doesn't mean what I thought it meant.
What did you think it means and what does
I
it
thought
actually
assault
mean?
was hitting somebody.
Okay.
Like, you punch someone, you assaulted them. That's not assault, that's battery. Assault is threatening to hit someone.
Assault is threatening?
Apparently, in a lot of U.S. states, assault is like the threat of harm, and then battery is the harm. So when you get charged with assault and battery, it means that you said you were going to hit someone, and then you did it.
Huh.
And the arguments going around online right now, where people are like, Will Smith assaulted Chris Rock, and people are like, no, Will Smith battered Chris Rock, and then people arguing about, like, the semantics about the legal language of the smack is just beyond strange to me. It's so semantics driven that.
Interesting.
Yeah, Fabumu says assault is intent, battery is doing it.
I did not. I thought. I agreed. I thought the same thing as you did. I thought that assault was hitting somebody.
Yeah, I learned that last night on Twitter, and I was like, this is really crazy.
Cool. All right, well.
TNX says, what exactly is an assault rifle then? It's a rifle that when you pull the trigger, it goes, I'm going to shoot you.
Watch out.
Watch out.
Oh, God.
I would love if you were playing Call of Duty and there was a gun that you picked up that didn't shoot anything, but when you pressed the trigger, it's just like, be careful. This is dangerous.
I'm going to get you. That's so weird. Wow, I feel so thrown for a loop right now because I'm like, yeah, interesting.
One of my favorite parts of this whole situation is that there's a picture being shown around that's the reaction to what happened, and it's all these celebrity faces, but it isn't. It's
from the La La Land.
Yeah, the Moonlight La La Land debacle.
Yeah,
but everyone's like, this is everyone's reaction, and some of those people weren't even there that last night.
Yeah, just people trying to like jump on a thing and get noticed, but yeah, it's I don't know. I feel so weird about this because on one hand I'm like, well, not a good look. You shouldn't have done that. But also, I cannot imagine what Jada Smith is going through.
Oh, 1,000%.
And so I'm like, well, I get why it happened.
Here's my question though. And I can't answer this because I'm a man who has a full head of hair and I'm not trying to like claim empathy.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely asking, does Will Smith's actions in that moment make it easier for her, or is the spotlight on her situation now so much greater?
I don't know. And that's the thing, right? Like this might have actually made it 10 times worse for her.
For her,
like,
right?
She might be like, what the hell were you thinking? You know what I mean? And that's why he cried about protecting people.
It's just one of those weird situations where I think that in my experience, how women want to be protected versus how men want to protect them are not the same thing.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that there's like a masculine urge to do it with like violence and with like strength.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily always think that that is how women want, but there are women who I think do want that, so it becomes tough. And like, if that is a relationship that him and Jada Pinkett Smith have, and that is how she, you know, and they, I'm not commenting on their relationship because that is a whole dumpster fire I don't want to get into.
That's their own business, right? Like,
I also think that like, if the internet had not memed their relationship for the past, like, what is it, like 2 years now, to the extent that it had, I don't think this joke hits as hard. But I think that given the situation around those two, and given everything that they've publicly gone through, because of decisions that they made as adults, they are probably in a more tenuous and like softer relationship position, I think, than if, you know, the whole entanglements situation hadn't happened.
Well, and here's the, like, he talked about it in his speech, right? You have to, if you're a celebrity, you just have to be okay with people saying horrible things about you, right? Like, people making fun of you, people judging you, and like that, he's not wrong about that.
You don't have to be a celebrity for that. We have a small internet show, and we have to put we put up with that daily.
To the extent, you know what I mean? Like, you can lock yourself up in your white tower if you have all the money, right? And it doesn't matter. But if you want to engage with the world, you end up seeing it everywhere, right? Like, for us, we just don't go in the YouTube comment section. We don't feel like it, right?
You don't. I do.
Will Smith can't go on Twitter without being made fun of, right? And like, that sucks. Like, and I think that makes you like a little bit unstable. I don't think that anybody can face that with like 110% like groundedness in reality. Like,
yeah. Eric brings up in the chat, Chris Rock took that slap like a champ. I will say,
yeah,
even if you think that his joke was so out of pocket, and I don't think it's a good joke. Like, I don't support the joke. I think it was
very poor.
It's not funny.
It's not,
and it's in poor taste.
Yeah.
However, Chris Rock is a much smaller man than Will Smith, and Will Smith played Muhammad Ali in a movie. So Chris Smith taking it on the jaw from Will Smith, and then kind of like needling Will Smith about it afterwards when he's like, because, you know, the full audio has been released, the Australian version and the Japanese version both did not censor it.
Yeah.
He gets smacked in the face, looks at Will Smith and goes, "It was a G.I. Jane joke." Okay.
Yeah.
And then he smiles into camera and continues the show. Like, that is a level of professionalism I don't have.
Yeah.
If I got smacked, I would run, because Will Smith is, if I was him, I'm taller than Will Smith, but if I was, 5 inches shorter than Will Smith, and I got hit in the face, I would be backing up really quick. And the reason
a lot, I was like, all right.
Well, a lot of people are like, I think it's staged, because he gets smacked in the face and he kind of stands there, and maybe he's just too shocked to speak.
It's not staged.
But like, he takes it and then he just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. No, like, Yeah, well, here's the thing. You are on stage and on camera in front of millions of people, right? Like, your brain is going crazy trying to come up with how to respond to this situation, right? And so some people, it's the whole, like, fight, flight, whatever. But, like, one of those 5 is freeze. And you
just... fight, flight, whatever?
There's, like, 5 reactions to... these, like, to situations like this, and
freezing I thought it was just fight or flight.
No, there's, I think 4 or 5, but freezing is one of them, where you just are, I cannot take a step forward and engage with it, I cannot take a step back and flee from it, like, and you just kind of stop, which honestly, I feel like I am that kind of person where I'm just like, you know what I mean, like, deer in the headlights kind of deal, but yeah, he didn't go down.
No.
He's like,
and he didn't hit back. The worst thing that could have happened
is if he had hit back.
Yeah. Which is what I would have done, which is I just know that about myself. I had a somewhat crappy childhood at times in relation to being a ballet dancer in middle school. I know that if you hit me, I will hit back.
Yeah.
I know that because I was at a Halloween haunted house one time. I don't go to haunted houses because a guy jumped out at me with a chainsaw from, like, behind a, like, curtain that was part of the haunted house, and I popped him in the throat, and I felt really bad about it, but he was way too close to me with a chainsaw very suddenly.
Yeah.
And I have a bad reaction to things like that.
Yeah, we don't take you out.
I don't go to haunted houses. I know that it is just not a safe space for me, and I'm 6'4", so if I react that way, it's not a great situation for people, right?
Yeah.
But I'm aware of that, and so I put myself out of position. I do not put myself in positions where that is an option.
Yeah, which is fair.
The best thing that happened is that this did not become a fight, because a brawl on stage would have been terrible.
Oh my, like, can you imagine? Like, what would have security would be like? Like, they're too famous. Like, and that's the thing. If you're famous and you have money, you get away with pretty much whatever the fuck you want.
A lot of people are bringing up that Will Smith laughed at the joke first. He did.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. I've laughed at jokes that I then am like, well, that actually wasn't very funny.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that, like, the video of him laughing at the joke first is going to be played on loop everywhere for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The person, at the end of the day, we're making jokes and we're talking about it, and, you know, we're doing the thing that the internet does about these situations, right? I want to say very emphatically, I feel bad for Jada Smith in this situation, and this is now going to be the only thing people want to talk to her about for the next month of her life is this thing that she's very clearly insecure about.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, it is the danger of going to an event like this where you get roasted. That's kind of the vibe. You are a celebrity with so much money, so much wealth, so much privilege, and the comedians make fun of the rich elites in the room to make it palatable that we're giving out gold statues to them, right?
Yep.
That is, like, how these kind of things function. But when they touch on your sore spot, it is in front of millions of people. You're getting roasted in front of a lot of people, and you didn't necessarily sign up to be roasted. Jada Pinkett Smith isn't nominated. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't there.
With her husband.
Thank you so much for that super chat, Eric.
Eric, thank you so much.
So nerdy was your casting for Viggo Mortensen's part in G.I. Jane 2. Look, here's the thing. If Jada Pinkett Smith made G.I. Jane 2, I think it would be great.
I would watch her in it, yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's funny about it being G.I. Jane, the joke, right, is that G.I. Jane is a great movie.
Yeah.
So, like, if they were to come out and say Jada Pinkett Smith is starring in G.I. Jane 2, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. You have a literally, like, Oscar caliber actress in a sequel to an Oscar caliber film. I think that you could make a really interesting... It's weird that it's a joke about a movie that I would like to see.
What makes it weird is that is the alopecia, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And that's what the problem is, and I think that that's what a lot of people are just kind of glossing over, right? That, like, she shaved her hair because she kind of has to. Otherwise, it's like, you know, like, there's nothing else she can really do about it. And as a woman who loves my hair, I literally like cannot imagine how gut-wrenching that would be. I have a friend with alopecia, and like it's hard. And here's the thing, yeah, if it was like, if she had just shaved her head, if that was the look she was going for this year, cool, fine, whatever, it's a joke, it's great, fine. But because it's like clearly very personal, that's what makes it different. Yeah. I would totally watch her in a G.I. Jane movie, but like how, like the context around it is what's kind of icky.
Oh, 1,000%. I don't want to skip past that. I one of my professors in college was going through that process while I was in college, learning from her, and it was when she decided to shave and like go fully bald, and there was a moment. But what was a bigger moment was when she stopped kind of wearing wigs around us as much. And she was a little bit more comfortable being fully bald around us. Yeah. And like I remember that, and I remember what a huge step that was for her, and that became, you know, my relationship with alopecia is really, you know, I understand because I watch, I don't understand, but I have experienced someone going through that before, and I know how difficult that can be.
Yeah.
From a, you know, viewer's perspective, not from having lived it. I do not want to downplay the alopecia of it all, right? Like it is a condition that is awful. Having said that, separate to that, I also think that Jada Pinkett Smith is a very talented actress.
Yeah, 100%.
Who I would watch in almost any movie, right?
For sure.
It was just weird that the joke, when I first heard Chris Rock's joke, he's like, I can't wait to see you in G.I. Jane 2. There's a part of my brain that was like, oh, that sounds great. When is it coming out?
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't know about the alopecia thing when I first heard it, right? I did not know that she had alopecia. So when he said, I can't wait to see you in G.I. Jane 2, I thought they were promoting a movie.
Right.
I didn't understand.
Like, wait, we're actually getting this?
Well, it's the Oscars, and like, let's be honest about these Oscars. Hulu showed an ad. There was an ad for Hulu, Disney Plus, and a Disney movie every 14 seconds, right? So I was like, oh, is Disney making G.I. Jane 2? Like, is this like a film that's coming?
Yeah.
And then when Will Smith smacked him, I went to Twitter and found out about the G.I. Jane of it all.
Yeah.
Or of the alopecia of it all. Yeah. And at that point, I understood the reference.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she had alopecia. And so when I heard the G.I. Jane joke, I didn't know that it was a joke. Like, I thought he was like, I can't wait to see you in that movie.
Yeah, you were like, wait, I that's not actually happening? Oh, darn. Like,
yeah. And so the context of that was like multiple stages to me.
Yeah.
Of learning about a situation I just wasn't aware of.
Yeah. Yeah. Wild.
I cannot wait to read the worst takes on this. Because they're going to happen. There's going to be an article by the end of today on some crappy site that's going to be like, why Will Smith's slap is the inevitable result of 9/11. You know what I mean? There's going to be some like...
something like absolutely bonkers where you're like, oh my God.
Or
it was the Illuminati.
I've already seen people say that this is the deep state trying to cover up that there's going to be some awful like injustices in the world this week that they don't want the general public to pay attention to, and so they had Will Smith do this so that the deep state could hide global injustice, which is
oh my God,
nuts,
wild.
This is just men's egos.
Yeah, and people just want clicks, right? Yeah. People just want to say the most ridiculous thing that they possibly can, so that I don't know, they feel good for 5 minutes because people are talking about them.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's going to come of this.
I don't think anything should. I honestly, like...
Guys get punched at bars all the time, and most of the time they don't get arrested.
And he wasn't punched. If he had closed his fist and broken his nose, we'd be having a different conversation.
For sure.
And maybe that's dumb. Maybe that's my toxic masculinity, where I'm like, it was an open-handed smack. That's not battery. But...
Well, technically it
in
still
this situation.
Is. But, like, it definitely feels... less severe than getting your jaw broken.
This feels more disrespectful and less like a physical attack. And maybe that's dumb.
Yeah.
But I don't think Will Smith went up there to like hurt him. I think he went up there to disrespect him.
Yeah. Because
he felt like he had disrespected his wife, right? And so it just feels different. And honestly, like, I don't know. I think that I just don't think the police... It's a weird thing to be... If every time a man smacked another man, the police got involved, I feel like things would just be... It would be hairy all the time. Like, it happens. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen on television, and this was not great. And I think that the Oscars could have handled it better by not letting him take the stage later on in the night, and by not having him be in the center of the room for the entire rest of the evening.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
if you're gonna let him have his acceptance speech because you know he's gonna win, just have him sit in the back until it happens. But like, don't have him be in the room for everything that happens after. Because the thing that's downplayed, the thing that sucks, is that this was Questlove's big moment. He wins Best Documentary immediately after this for Summer of Soul, which absolutely deserves it, right? No one thought Summer of Soul was not going to win Best Documentary this year. Like, that movie is remarkable, and that is not going to get talked about because Questlove winning his Oscar for Summer of Soul, the incredible documentary about Black artists doing this incredible concert in Harlem, is going to be overshadowed by the fact that it happened moments after Will Smith smacked Chris Rock live on television.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the story of that moment forever.
Yeah.
And if you have not seen Questlove's acceptance speech for Summer of Soul, go watch it. It is like truly remarkable. It really is truly remarkable. It's a great speech. And like, that should have been the thing we talked about in that moment. That should have been the highlight of that section of the award show, and it wasn't because this other thing happened. And it was a bad award show overall. Like, the in memoriam section was terrible.
Yeah.
If you're TV producers, if you are doing an in memoriam for people who died, nobody gives a crap about the choir. I do not want the camera to focus on the choir once. All I need you to do is point the camera at the screen that's showing the faces and the names and have a sad song be sung by somebody who's very talented. You don't need to show me who's singing. It's not about them. It's the in memoriam section. People died. We can respect them. The amount of time the camera in last night's in memoriam section was panning through the choir, or like was so pulled back to show everything that was happening on stage that you couldn't even read the names on the screen. Nobody cares. It is the in memoriam section. Just focus on the screen. Nobody is sitting there being like, God, you know what? I wish the in memoriam section had more camera movement in it.
Yeah.
It's the in memoriam section. People just want to remember the fallen. You know what I mean? The fallen makes it sound like they were like in war. But you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
nobody gives a crap about the choir. They should be there, and they should be honored to sing for the dead without having their faces on screen. I will show up every year and do it for free. I don't need recognition for being in the in memoriam section until I'm dead, and hopefully I've made enough of an impact that I'm in the in memoriam section.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a weird choice.
Yeah,
I get it.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of weirdness in last night's show, and it wasn't great. But congratulations to the winners. We have another award show to talk about.
What?
Yeah, I know. Let's talk about it. Because not only are the Oscars this week, but also the Razzies. The Razzies are an award show honoring the worst of Hollywood. And this year it wasn't the worst of Hollywood. Unfortunately, it was the worst of Broadway. This is going to be a tough one to talk about, y'all, because I know a lot of people in this show.
So do I. Well,
Personally.
I know one person
Who was in the show.
who left the show.
So Diana the musical was
awarded
worst movie, worst actress, worst supporting actress.
Worst actress for
Diana. Worst supporting actress for the Queen. Worst director.
Ooh, wow.
And worst screenplay.
Wow. I mean, fair. I'm so sorry.
It was really bad.
But like, I couldn't even watch all of it. I saw parts of it while you were watching it, and I was like,
here's what I will say. I don't think it deserved worst actress. I think she does an admirable job.
she was fine.
And Judy Kaye, I don't think deserves worst supporting actress. I think they're both doing the job that the show asks them to do, and I think that you shouldn't win worst actress for doing what was asked of you. Well,
Yeah.
It does deserve worst screenwriting.
Oh,
I have never heard a lyric worse than "That's what you get for marrying a Scorpio." It's bad, and there are some good songs in the show. Like, I'm not saying it's all bad, but there are a couple of really bad moments.
Yep. Yeah.
But this is the first time I can think of where a Broadway musical that was filmed won almost all of the Razzies. The only things it didn't win, worst actor went to LeBron James in Space Jam 2.
Oh wow.
Worst supporting actor Worst supporting actor went to Jared Leto for House of Gucci, which is hilarious because he won awards for that role in House of Gucci and was nominated for a lot of things for that role in House of Gucci. Jared Leto in House of Gucci is the most like divided I've ever seen people talk about a movie, because you either think he's brilliant or you think he's awful in the movie. I am in the latter category. And I say that as someone, I don't hate Jared Leto. I'm excited for Morbius, even though the reviews are bad. I don't hate Jared Leto. I think he's a good actor. I think the accent he chose goes too far in comparison to every other person in the movie. And so when he's on screen,
it doesn't fit in.
I think that if everyone else went as far as he did, his performance would work. But like Lady Gaga gives a really good performance in House of Gucci.
I haven't seen it yet.
I watched it while you're streaming. But the Lady Gaga gives a really good performance, and Jared Leto is giving a very good performance for a different movie. And so he just feels out of place to me the whole time.
Interesting.
And it's not that he's bad. It's just that he's not doing what everyone else is doing. And so it's super strange.
Right. You're like, one of these things is not like the other.
Also, his prosthetics just don't look as good as the Batman prosthetics. And now I'm going to compare everybody in prosthetics to Colin Farrell as Penguin.
Yeah. Fair.
My favorite thing about the Razzies, though, is they have a worst couple. Like worst on-screen chemistry kind of award.
Oh,
Who do you think won that? Because you won't guess it.
I don't know anything that came out.
It was LeBron James and anyone he dunked on in Space Jam 2. They just wanted to give LeBron James 2 Razzies this year.
That was nice of them. They were feeling generous, I guess.
They gave it to LeBron James and CGI.
Wow. Wow, I'm glad I didn't go watch Space Jam 2. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Caleb Richardson brought up one of the greatest moments in all of movie history, which is the year that Halle Berry won the Oscar and the Razzie for Best Actress in the same year.
Jesus.
Yeah. The Oscar was for, is the movie called Monster?
I'm not sure.
Monsters Ball is a different movie, right? And then the Razzie she won for Catwoman.
Wow. Okay. That sucks. I think I've seen parts of that Catwoman performance, actually.
It is... Catwoman's a tough one for me. It's not a good movie, but it's still Halle Berry.
Yeah.
And so it's like eminently watchable. And also it's Halle Berry in leather. And I was 12 or 13 when it came out. So like when it came out,
You're like...
loved that movie.
Oh, I'm sure.
I never thought it was good, but I watched it a lot.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Monsters
man.
Ball. Okay, she was in Monsters Ball, and then Monster is the Charlize Theron one, right?
I don't know.
I always get those two movies confused.
She's amazing, so...
Catwoman
is a thing.
It's a thing, but it's still Halle Berry. It's Halle Berry in a bad movie is still Halle Berry. Mm-hmm. So it's I still like it.
Yeah.
I just like her. I think Halle Berry is so imminently watchable. She's so talented. Like she commits even in Catwoman. Like there's never a moment in that movie where it does not feel like she is 100% in it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I respect the crap out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you show up and you do your job. But sorry, Diana.
Yeah, sorry, Diana. And I'm really sorry to that actress. You do not deserve the hate that.
The worst. It was, yeah. Like, you definitely were not the worst part of it.
Did your job. It's not your fault. The script is what it is.
Yep.
Speaking of Jared Leto, Morbius. Morbius is coming out this week, and despite bad reviews, it's still looking like it's going to have a $50 million debut.
Dang. But you can't be mad at that. I mean, we already have our tickets.
I mean, I think they were hoping for closer to what Venom 2 did with like 90 million last year while it was still a pandemic.
Right.
I think coming in just over half what Venom 2 pulled in the same franchise isn't great.
Yeah, but if the reviews are bad and you're still pulling in 50 million.
Yeah, it's true. The question that I have is whether, there have been some things coming out that the Spider-Man of it all is not necessarily true. That there has been... Yeah, so apparently the trailers have been misleading as to how connected to the Spider-Man of the Sony universe this movie actually is. Apparently, the Adrian Toomes stuff, all the Michael Keaton stuff from the trailers, might not be in the movie at all, and might only be in what is being described as the worst post-credit scene in the history of post-credit scenes.
Oh, I can't wait.
And so I wonder if there's going to be a backlash to this movie after it comes out. The MCU started this trend of putting stuff in trailers that isn't in the movie to kind of obfuscate spoilers, right? To build hype for the movie without revealing anything. And I wonder if this movie will create a backlash in terms of people getting sick of trailers actually lying to them.
Yeah. Which, fair. I think that if you put in footage that is not in the movie in a time in like pandemic times where you have to keep pushing your movie back, but you also have to keep putting out stuff to like entice people to go see your movie, that I can kind of understand. But this whole like straight up lying in trailers and things that are in the trailer are if it's different shots, but it's still like a same moment, I'm like, okay, fine. But like being completely misleading with your trailer as to like who's in your movie and like what it's about, I do not understand.
So how do you feel about the Infinity War moment then?
I never saw the trailer, so I don't care. Like
in the trailer, there's a famous shot where all of the heroes run out of the forest together. It like is pointed at them, and all of the heroes, the Hulk is the Hulk.
Yeah.
He's hulked out. He's running with them. Mm-hmm. They're all running out into the forest together. Mm-hmm. When you actually watch the movie, not only is that not in the film, but it's not possible because Bruce Banner is in the Hulkbuster armor in that scene. He's not the Hulk because the Hulk won't come out after he gets his ass kicked by Thanos in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And so in order to hide the fact that Thanos beats the Hulk so bad that the Hulk won't come out of Bruce Banner, they added shots of the Hulk into the final fight that aren't in the movie. Do you think that is an appropriate way to hide the plot of that? Because that fight happens, and parts of that shot are real, but like parts of that shot are fake. The Hulk is in the movie, though.
I don't know, that one I can understand why they did it. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That wouldn't bother me. I would be like, oh, I see why they did that.
But this is the problem. That one doesn't bother me. But it created the slippery slope to where we are now.
Yeah, which is the problem.
Apparently, Adrian Toomes, not in the movie. You know what I mean? Michael Keaton is in a post-credit scene. And now, if this is true, it means that they are now advertising the movie with the post-credit scene that is supposed to be an advertisement for the next movie. Yeah. Like, the post-credit scenes aren't supposed to be ads for the movie you just watched.
Yeah.
You just watched it.
Yeah, you are...
It's like films have this tendency to show the final shot of the movie in trailers. And I hate it. Venom did this.
Yeah, don't do that. It gives it away.
The final joke of the movie, the turd dancing in the wind or whatever the line is the final, it's the final line of the movie. Mm-hmm. And it's in it was in every trailer. And so I was watching the movie, I was like, oh, I guess they cut the turd, like, floating in the wind line because it's a weird line. And you get to the movie and it's like, oh no, that was the last thing they do.
Or like in Eternals, where they like had the scene on the porch with Richard Madden and
no, that was them spoiling the movie.
Well, but that's what that
was them spoiling the big twist.
Yeah.
In like the Eternals trailer spoiling the twist of the film is still one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Yeah. I don't know. Making trailers is an art, and some people are just not good at it.
Yeah. People in the chat are saying they're going to go see Morbius. We're going to see it on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Thursday. We have our tickets for Thursday around like 5:00-ish. So we'll make sure we'll get our like non-spoiler thoughts up right away.
Yeah, our spoiler review will probably go up Saturday morning. Just give people time to see it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it. I liked the last couple trailers. I didn't really love the first trailer, but the marketing campaign has gotten better as has gone on to me. But now hearing that these Twitter, someone brought up that the embargo doesn't drop till Wednesday. Rock Crane brought that up. Mm-hmm. There's the hard embargo for like reviews, but then there's first reaction embargo now, which is a new thing with social media. And so there are Twitter reactions from people who have seen the screenings, and they're not good. Like the reviews are mostly negative. Yeah. And that the movie feels like a generic 2000s movie.
Oh boy.
And yeah, I'm curious, right? Like I think that I like a lot of the cast. I like what I've seen. It's tough.
It's
I
weird
want it to be good.
Yeah, we have enjoyed most of the trailers so far. So
Yeah, Frank Beans brings up that Wednesday is Moon Knight Day.
Moon Knight.
So Moon Knight will have, Wednesday we'll have Moon Knight,
Mm-hmm.
spoiler chat for episode 1. And then Thursday we'll have the Halo episode 2 spoiler chat, the non-spoiler review for Morbius, Friday book club, Saturday spoiler chat for Morbius.
Yeah, something like that.
Easy week.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the middle of our show. You know what time it is. It's time for Clarus to make up the news.
No.
It's so surprising. That thing that happens every show.
I don't know. I was hoping you wouldn't do this to me today.
Why? Why would you assume that?
Because
This is we agreed that this was a segment on the show.
I don't
And
ever
you
remember
were on board
agreeing.
for it. You're like, this is really funny. Let's do it.
No, I do
And
not
now
remember
every
agreeing
single week I go,
to
and now
this.
it's the middle of the show when Clarus makes up the news, and then we do box office breakdown. There's a structure to this show that we do every week. And every week you're like, oh God, this again. Richard Sims Evans
I
says,
didn't agree
this
to
is a
that.
real slap in the face
Oh
every
my
time.
God. No pressure. No pressure.
Oh my God.
I need some inspiration.
Oh,
Oh,
babe.
God.
Why?
I was hoping to look out the window, but then I remembered I put the cardboard there, so I couldn't actually see anything. What?
You just ruined our lighting.
Oh no!
And we bought these fancy new lights, and you ruined it.
We did. They're very nice.
I love that you have not gotten better at this. Like, my favorite thing is that you have not, like...
Because I can't, like, there's nothing in my brain right now until, like, it's... My head is very empty. It's very empty.
Mm-hmm.
It is new lighting. You're right, Richard Sim. You nailed it. Cardboard. We're trying to block the...
Stop reading chat and make up
sunlight.
the news.
I'm hoping chat inspires me. God damn it. I don't think we can paint our windows black.
Stop reading chat and make up the news. The show cannot... I will not allow the show to go on until you do.
Great. I love that for you guys, especially. That is my favorite.
I love this.
Will Smith slapped the rock. Different rock. Different rock got slapped.
Will Smith would not have slapped the rock.
Nobody would slap the rock. Let's
No
be
one.
honest.
He would have walked up on that stage, walked like halfway there, and the rock would have been getting larger in his field of view, and he would have been like, I think I'm going to talk to him about it.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Well, and that's an element of it I don't like, is that, like, Will Smith is so much larger than Chris Rock that it becomes a, like...
Yeah. He had all that time walking from his seat to Chris, all that time to think about what he was about to do, and he did it anyway.
Yeah. Make up the news. Come on.
Okay. So, the news.
Yep.
The news. There's a thing. There's a thing.
There's a thing.
There's a thing. Oh God. There. God, I wish I watched more of the Oscars last night, so I had something to go off of.
We've been doing this for a year and a half.
Yeah, and I still got nothing. I literally don't know what you expect at this point. I'm bad at
We
improv.
might have to cut this segment.
Great. I love it.
This one's been particularly long.
Yeah, I have nothing. I don't know what you want from me. Jesus Christ. No. Nobody wants that laptop gaming.
Diana the Musical sequel.
No, I hate it.
I would go see Meghan and Harry the Musical if Meghan and Harry starred in it. She's a great actress.
Yeah, but like...
I don't know if he is.
Can they sing?
I don't know, but I would still go see it if they couldn't.
Could you imagine if they're
It
just
wouldn't
dubbed?
stop me.
They're just dubbed.
Oh, no. They have to be themselves. It can't be any worse than some of the stunt casting in Chicago over the last 30 years.
Or Grease. That was in here. That was here. Never mind.
Oh, I was
That
like, the Grease Broadway cast was talented. Like,
No. They did Grease here. And...
what's Sutton Foster's Broadway debut, right?
Oh, no, I don't know.
She was in the ensemble of that?
The Grease that they did here was like, we're going to hire this social media star as Sandy. And apparently it was not good.
Oh,
yeah. So they've added a new Oscar.
A new Oscar?
Yeah.
Wait, are you making up the news?
Yeah, the news.
Right.
No, this is real.
Oh, this is real. Okay.
It's totally 100% real. My sources are telling me right now. Look at my sources.
That is our show.
The news
You just showed our show.
Yeah, they've added a new Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
A new Oscar, and the Oscar is not what you would think, because it's actually for best smut fan fiction.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, like, the line is that if you want to be an Oscar and, like, an Oscar movie, but, like, not a porno, you can't show actually like, the intercourse in it. But, like, the smut of it, the idea is you take a scene, you add some smut, you make your fan fiction, headcanon, buzzwords, and then you make, like, a 10-minute clip. Yeah. It's like a short. It's like a short film.
You know that there's already 2 separate categories for short films at the Oscars, right?
And now they have a smut one where you have it has to insert into an already existing movie franchise, right? It can be like you have to recreate the shot that you are intersecting it into at the very end, and then you have to recreate the shot, or at the beginning, and then at the end you have to recreate the shot, so you could literally fit it seamlessly into the movie and nobody would know. Smut Corner Oscars. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but it can't be full sex. It has to be.
No.
So you're just
because
adding
then
a
it would
scene
be porn.
to movies that already exist.
Yeah. So it's like people who it's people who are like, I don't have ideas for my own movie, but I have a sexy idea for this movie.
I hate it.
I love it. I think it's great.
There was a production of A Chorus Line, the musical, in Alberta, where we're from. This was like 15 years ago. And the director felt bad for all the actors, because at the beginning of The Chorus Line, a bunch of the dancers get cut and they're not in the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And those are always the understudies for the other parts in traditional productions. And he felt bad for them. So he wrote a song and he added it into the show for them to come back and sing later about getting cut from the audition. And so the production got shut down because you can't add stuff to other people's art. It's very illegal.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? We were going to move on to something else, but we actually have to go back to the Oscars because there's something we didn't talk about.
What?
There are 2 new Oscars this year.
Oh.
You just made up some fake news. There's actually real news about this.
This one is real.
Real news. There were 2 Twitter Oscars this year. Who do you think won the Twitter Oscars?
Was it Cinderella?
No. Came in second. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Nope.
Oh.
Who has a bigger Twitter following than anybody?
Who is a bigger Twitter?
Yeah. What is Twitter for? What is Twitter? What is the like essence of Twitter?
Anger.
In terms of film people. Come on, you've got this. What came out last year that people on Twitter might want to vote for because of their love of it?
I don't know. People on Twitter are weird. Oh, is it the Snyder Cut?
Yes.
No.
So there were 2 fan voted Oscars this year. One was fan favorite.
Ugh.
And the other was most cheerable moment. And so the most cheerable moment went to The Flash running back in time at the end of Snyder Cut to save the day. And the
most cheerable moment?
Yeah. It's a terrible name for, that's not even like the technical name, but that is what it is.
No, it's a terrible name, but also that moment. No.
He saves the universe. Or I guess he just saves Earth. And then the best film of the year, Zack Snyder's Justice League, was deemed ineligible because it is a director's cut of a previously released movie.
Uh-huh.
What Zack Snyder movie came out last year that you think won fan favorite at the Oscars?
Army of the Dead?
Yes, Army of the Dead beat Camila Cabello's Cinderella.
Well, okay, at least it beat that, but like, Jesus Christ. Army of the Dead is not a great movie. Like, it's well shot. It's fun in parts and it's well shot, but like, there's no character in it. The story is bonkers. And like the highlight of the movie is the like credit sequence, and then it's just all downhill from there, like very, very steep downhill.
But babe, It was voted on by Twitter.
Oh, wow. If Twitter says it.
I don't know what they expected. And they had said, like, they had said it was going to be presented at the awards. It was going to be, like, part of the main ceremony. And it was, barely. They
Barely.
shoved in. I think that they thought, I was about to say a good movie. I think they thought that a movie that Oscars people would like more would win. Because I think that the people who run the Oscars are out of touch with the internet and did not realize that if you told Twitter that you could give an award to a Zack Snyder movie, Zack Snyder's going to win that award. Zack Snyder fans on Twitter care more about anything than any other fandom on Twitter.
Yep.
And a lot of people thought that they had made this award because they wanted Spider-Man to win it so that they could have the Spider-Man thing happen you know what I mean?
Yep.
The MCU fans get the movies and the TV shows constantly. They're satiated.
Yeah, they're fine.
The Snyder fans don't, because we still do not have any news about restoring the Snyderverse and all of that stuff. And so that is a fandom that is ravenous to show WB that they care, because they think that Twitter engagement is going to get Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 made. That is the belief within the fandom. And so they show up because they want something. The MCU fans do not show up because they want something, because you're going to get it.
Yeah.
No MCU fan is like, oh my God, when is the next MCU project? It's next week.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, and then the week after that, and then the week after. Like, the fan base that is starving is the one that's going to show up on Twitter to be like, this was awesome, give me more of it. The MCU people are not going to go, hey, we want to let you know again that Spider-Man No Way Home was great. Disney knows. They made $2 billion.
Yeah, I think they're aware.
But yeah. Anyway, we have some box office stuff we have to talk about before we get out of here. The Lost City turned off the bat signal, y'all.
It beat out Batman?
Yeah. The Lost City in its opening weekend came in with $31 million, Batman, in its third weekend, dropping only 44% to $20.5 million. The Lost City won the weekend because it's new, but the Batman did not have a bad third weekend at all.
Yeah.
They're probably very happy with that number. In third place, a movie I had never heard of, and I didn't even know came out, is RRR, which is an Indian film. That managed to make $9.5 million this weekend. It is the second week in a row that a foreign film is in third place. The last week's third place, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, is in fifth place with $4.5 million. That did have a pretty steep drop off week to week. Uncharted is sitting there in fourth place at $5 million. The Spider-Man No Way Home that we were just talking about earlier, that brought in another $2 million this weekend.
Nice.
That movie has pretty much done what it's going to do, but it had one final achievement, which is that it has officially passed $800 million domestic this week.
Nice.
So that is huge for them. The Batman has dropped into third in 3 weeks. I think that it's on the back of a stronger than expected performance by The Lost City.
Yeah.
I don't think people expected $31 million for that movie, but we saw it. And
And it was great.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, very surprising. If you're looking for a movie that's just fun and easy to watch and is funny, has good performances, doesn't take itself too seriously, honestly, go watch it. Like, I highly recommend it. It was very enjoyable. It didn't make me want to cry, like half the movies that have come out recently.
Wheel of Time fan edit says it's the Dan Murrell part of the show. If you want to know more about the box office, if you want a better version of this segment, go watch Dan Murrell's show. He's the best. The only reason I feel like I'm not ripping him off is because our show comes out first on Mondays, so I can't steal his takes because his show always comes out later in the day. But I am a Dan Murrell fan, and I like to talk about box office numbers because of him. So go watch Dan Murrell. His content's better than mine. But we have a Monday morning show, and so we have to talk about something. And I like the box office. Get off of my. So Jujutsu Kaisen actually was in second place last week, not third. That is my bad.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, Uncharted was in third last week. So actually, Jujutsu Kaisen dropped from second to fifth because it had a 69.1% drop.
Okay.
But anime,
it's not the worst.
Anime releases in North America are more of an event. You were going to get a lot of people who really love that franchise showing up day one. You know what I mean? That's the kind of audience that's going to Thursday night it. They're going to Friday night it. And so I'm not surprised to see that dropped off a lot. However, Jujutsu Kaisen has done, let's go look back at this, $144.5 million internationally.
Nice.
So for a film like that, I don't think they're going to be upset at that number. I think that is a huge success for them. I think across the board right now, if you look at the numbers on screen, every movie on screen right now has to be somewhat pleased with what they are doing. Yeah. I think 31 million is huge for the Lost City opening weekend. That kind of adult comedy just doesn't make that kind of money anymore.
Yeah.
The only disappointment right now in terms of box office is the Batman's Chinese run. Because I think that Batman's $350 million domestically is huge. I think that it's doing well. It's not doing Spider-Man numbers, but no one expected it to. It's a very different film. It's got a very different crowd. It's introducing a new Batman when we just had a Batman. I think that there's a lot of reasons why the Batman is not expected to do $2 billion. I think that the lack of success in China is surprising for WB.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, honestly. There's a pandemic. Yep. Surprise! So, people are not always going out, right?
There's a pandemic. On top of that, there's also just been a very nationalist wave in China in terms of film going. And it has been a while since an American film did really well there. And they're really pushing, with the Battle of Shanjin 1 and 2 coming around within a year, both of those movies making massive money in China. There's a lot of Chinese releases that are doing really well in China. And there's a bigger market of Chinese films being made right now with high budgets that are really good. Yeah. I think it was called The Wandering Earths a couple of years ago. Was a movie I really enjoyed. It's on Netflix. It's a science fiction film from out of China that made almost $1 billion in China alone a couple of years ago. Wow. It's a really solid movie. I really, really enjoyed it. And so China is... It's partially that China is starting to really focus on its own movie industry in terms of promotion within the country and trying to get people to go see Chinese cinema. It's also the fact that Chinese cinema has advanced its technology in the last few years and is really starting to compete with Hollywood in terms of visual effects and in terms of the scope of the stories that they're telling in these movies. Yeah. And so there's a lot of factors that are leading to American films making less money there. Yep. And Chinese films making more money here, right? I think that Chinese films are opening more in the United States and making more money because there's some really good stuff. Yeah,
absolutely.
That is going to be all of the segments of the show. But we'll throw up the what did we miss
in case anything happened immediately.
Nuck and Futz brings up, are you planning to react to the Critical Role series Legend of Vox Machina?
No, we've watched it.
We've seen all of it.
We finished it the other day. We are planning on doing a kind of full season recap review.
Like our video for Encanto, for Arcane.
Arcane, yeah.
We're going to do a video about the whole season.
Yeah. Because we just finished that. We haven't had time to make it yet, but that is the plan.
Spoiler alert for that video. Light spoilers for what we're going to talk about. We watched the first 3 episodes and kind of just... We watched because they dropped together. The first 2 dropped together, and we watched them, and we're like, okay. It took us a while to pick it back up.
Yeah, but I'm glad we did.
And we'll get into that in that video. So come back for our Legends of Vox Machina reaction. And Wheel of Time fan edit wants to know about our Dusty Wheel appearance. Stay tuned for April.
Yes, sometime in the semi-near future.
And fan edit reaction, I don't know. I don't think we'll do a reaction to a 4-hour video.
Yeah, that would be a very long video.
But if you want to see a 4-hour cut of the Wheel of Time show.
Nice.
It's out now. Just muted you so I don't get spoiled.
Oh, no,
Told me to unmute. Oh, we didn't actually spoil anything.
Sorry, no, we didn't spoil. We spoiled for our own reaction to it.
Yeah, we spoiled for, what'll be the first 3 minutes of our video.
Yeah. Oh, Sonic 2. Yeah, we're
when does Sonic 2 come out?
Isn't it the 7th or something? It's the first.
It's the week after Morbius.
Yeah, it's next week. It's next week.
I think Sonic 2 will do very well. The trailers have been excellent. The first movie is very well received. Jim Carrey is beloved. Shin! Oh my god, you can drop animated spoiler chats?
Super chats.
God damn it. That's so cute. I love this little Yeti dude.
Shin, thank you so much.
Sounds like we get it a week early.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, we don't get it till next week. This week we have Morbius, and next week we have Sonic. So,
if they came out in the same week, which movie do you think would do better?
Sonic.
Really? I think Morbius would win the weekend.
Really?
Yeah, the Spider-Man connection coming off of No Way Home. I think that there's a lot of people who don't pay attention to online discourse who think that this is a Spider-Man movie.
Oh, okay.
So I think that like the general public, I think that there's going to be there'll be a lot of people who are tapped into it, like us, who pay attention to this all the time, who are going to think about it and go, like if it's not good, we would see both, right? Because we have a problem, and we have a job. More the job part than the problem.
Yeah.
Because what's funny is I think that if we didn't have this job, I would see both on Thursday, and you would see them never.
Not never. No, I like going to the movies.
Yeah, but Sonic 2 wouldn't.
Sonic, yeah.
And Morbius, I don't know that that's a movie that you would like go out of your way for because it's a vampire.
I don't know. The trailers look cool, honestly.
Yeah.
I would try to make it happen.
Fabu Moose says Idris Elba has no right going so hard with Knuckles. Agreed. His voice is so cool.
He sounds very nice.
When his line when he's like, "I'm an echidna warrior," I was like, "Hell yes!"
Yes.
Idris Elba's hot.
Yeah.
That man is so attractive.
Yeah, that's a DILF.
He's so hot that he doesn't need to be on screen. He can be a giant red porcupine, but his voice is just like so attractive.
Yeah. What a lucky guy.
He's also just so good in everything. Luther is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always liked Idris Elba, but Luther was where I was like, oh, god damn, dude, you are like one of the best.
Yeah.
That show
incredible.
is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I love him a lot.
Make sure you guys use our HelloFresh link.
Yeah, if you want.
Are in the United States, make sure if you want food and you like food, you get 16 free foods.
MC, I'm going to admit something that I shouldn't admit in public.
What?
I've never seen an episode of The Wire.
Me neither.
Yeah. I know it's the greatest thing ever. I just haven't seen it, and that's on me.
There's only so many hours in the day. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be the show.
I don't think we missed anything else.
Thank you so much for joining us to talk about the Oscars. Because wow, what a night! Oh, what a night! Will Smith went and smacked Chris Rock so hard. All right,
Yeah.
y'all. If you would like to follow us around the internet, you can. Because that's how social media works. I'm at Nerdy Nightly basically everywhere.
Yeah, I'm at Clarus Polaris.
Yeah, and come join us over on Twitch. I'm going to be playing some more Pokemon White 2 tonight because we're going to get to that Elite Four. So that Wednesday night, this Wednesday, Pokemon White 2 Elite Four, we're going to do it. I figured out how to get past Getsus, so we're good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. What about you?
I am not streaming today like I usually do. I have an audition to go to, so I will be streaming tomorrow. Instead, I think I put on my schedule like 11 a.m. We're going to do it earlier in the day because we have a show to go see tomorrow night. So
11 a.m. so early.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. I don't know if you know this, but we are night owls.
Yeah, not morning people. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and come back next week for more morning show.
Do something nerdy tonight, y'all. Bye.
Bye, guys.